Hey everyone, it's 10 Types, and today we're taking a look at some decks playing the new cards, and these cards are literally just released a few days ago in Japan in the starter decks, the EX starter deck, or starter set, which contains the Stevens Metagross line and the Stevens Pokemon, as well as the Marnie's Morpeko and Grimmsnarl EX and the Marnie stuff, and so we're going to be taking a look at decks with these. I haven't really looked at them much at all. I took a quick glance. I don't think there's that many. Again, these are really new. And internationally, these will be releasing in, I believe, like the second set of the year, which is, I think it's in May. I don't really remember. It's a bit of a ways off. We have Journey Together, which is introducing Trainers Pokemon. So this will be the second Trainers Pokemon set. By the way, Journeys Together, the trainers Pokemon, I guess, are the main focus within that set, but it's like there are other good cards. And there's only 4 trainers, but in the second set, including the Stevens and Marnie's Pokemon, there are 7 trainers, including Rockets, Cynthia, Arvin, Ethan, and Misty. I hope I didn't miss one, but regardless, there's a bunch of trainers, and this is why, because these are in a separate deck. So we'll first take a look at the Claydol Baltar line. It looks like no one's played this. This is like a mediocre attacker. By the way, I think I like the Stevens Pokemon a lot more than the Marnie's Pokemon, as we'll get into it. And the specifically Stevens Metagross EX, as well as Stevens Carabank, Stevens Skarmory is whatever, and the stadium is also really good. Also, Energy Recycle is coming back. That's actually like a pretty big deal. And I believe I said that it was there for the Marnie's Pokemon, which I think it is better with those, and really synergistic with those. However, it's within the Stevens stuff, so I misspoke there. But we have the Stevens Carabank. This has been played in 2 decks. The Metagross has been played in 3. So I'll open up all of these and see what's in these decks. And then there's also the Stevens Skarmory. This card it's not been played in any Stevens Metagross EX decks. It's a bit different, but we need to take a look at what the actual cards are. We have 3 decks here. This one came 13th place. These are 64-player tournaments, and this next one came 4th, and this one, and if you want to look these up, I am on limitlesstcg.com. This one came 11th place. The Stevens Beldum and Stevens Metang, which again, remember, Metang and Stevens Metang are different Pokemon. The regular Metang would be good in this deck. It wouldn't be absolutely insane, but it would be good. And you can't play it. I mean, you could, but it's a separate evolution line. But Stevens Metagross EX, what it says is your ability says you can accelerate a Psychic and a Metal Energy, both basic, from your deck to your Psychic and Metal Pokemon in any way you like. And your attack is 200 for 3 here as well. The attack's not very good, though. I think it's usable. I think it's very usable. You can kind of compare it to Charizard EX. I think that's the way the comp I'd give for Stevens Metagross EX is a tankier Charizard EX that is less damaging, and is less, requires a bit more, I guess, energy. Theoretically, I mean, Stevens Metagross EX will power itself up in 2 turns and leave an extra energy floating wherever you want it on your, Metal or Psychic Pokemon, but Charizard EX powers itself up as well as 1 extra energy in just 1 turn. Stevens Metagross EX is a consistent energy accelerator for powering up your different Pokemon versus Charizard EX is not. It's really just used for itself. But anyways, I think that's how I'd compare it. And I'd actually also compare the Marnie's Grimmsnarl EX to Charizard EX as well, funnily enough. But then we also have the Stevens Carabank. This card says, as long as it's on the bench, each of your Stevens Pokemon take 30 less damage from attacks. It does not stack. However, it does stack with Granite Cave, which is a stadium, which says the same thing. Stevens Pokemon take 30 less damage from attacks. Interestingly, Stevens Carabank only protects your Pokemon assuming it's on the bench, which is kind of weird. I don't actually know why that's the case. And these Pokemon have high retreat costs as well. Looking at this list, we see Adjustment Copy Switch. I said they have high retreat cost. However, you can accelerate energy to them using Stevens Metagross EX to allow you to retreat. So it's not like the biggest deal in the world. All of them do play Lily's Clefairy EX and even play Lily's Pearl. If you're not familiar with this card, it does 20 more for each bench Pokemon, and its ability gives Dragon Pokemon a weakness to Psychic. So it's good against Dragon Bolt EX and I guess Raging Bolt EX as well. You can't really one-shot that, so that's nice. Not that you're trading positively, but you'll be trading evenly, potentially positively if they aren't able to get the knockout in return. But you're not that tanky with the Lily's Clefairy EX, and that's what you'll be hitting weak weakness with. Yes, you do have Monkey Dory, or Girafarig, Stevens Metagross EX, Mew EX, I guess, would actually be pretty solid there as well, which we see in two of the lists here. I guess I'll look at these two first. This one, which came first, which is, I guess, the best performing one, although it is a relatively small sample size. This one plays Teal Mysogropon EX and is built very similarly to the Lily's Clefairy EX dex, except it adds a Metagross line in, and we don't see the Stevens Carabank. We don't see Granite Cave, which is in this list. This is how I don't know exactly how I'd play the deck. It's also, there's a lot of weird stuff going on here. Not like bad, but I mean, I haven't, seen any of this before because the card's new. We have Monkey Dory, which uses Darkness Energy. So you have a third type of energy, which is not super easy to find. We have Crispin in the list. We don't even see any other way to search it out, I don't think, because this is getting your Psychic and Metals out of the deck, which it's doing that very easily, or pretty easily. It is a stage 2. We only see 2 rare candies. We see a Team Evolution, and we see a bunch of Arvins to kind of get that going. We see, of course, Pheasant EX as well, which is still really good post-rotation, and Tatsugiri as well to get you going. The other list plays, this one plays Latias EX, but that's a bit different. I also see the Farigiraf, which is, I'd say, a meta call, really good against Raging Bull EX. Again, so this will be, I'm going to say, trading positively. I mean, it walls them off completely, unlike Lily's Clefairy EX, which does allow you to hit them from weakness, but isn't super good. And then you do have the Darkness Energy for the Monkey Dory to heal off the Farigiraf EX. If your opponent's hitting you with, like, say, a Fan Rotom, not that you won't be able to handle that, but maybe not. Also, again, you only accelerate to Psychic or Metal Pokemon, so you need to accelerate to the Basic before you Terra Evolve, because then you can't get the energy on quickly anymore. That's a pretty big deal here. I don't know if that's that awkward. It probably isn't, but I'm not entirely sure. It's definitely something you'd rather not have to worry about here. And obviously, if you're Psychic, that'd be way better as well, because, you get a weakness on certain Pokemon, but not that that's a massive deal, I don't think. But then also, it's really interesting seeing Lily's Pearl. Lily's Pearl is a card that I haven't seen a ton in Lily's Clefairy EX. I mean, I've seen a good amount, but it's not always played there, and always in high amounts, but we see one Lily's Pearl for one Lily's Clefairy EX. Not that you can't recover it with Super Rod. And yeah, this one plays Night Stretch as well, so there's a good chunk of recovery. But this list is, I think, more focused on the tankiness of Stevens Metagross EX, using that as an attacker, which I think is its best situation, because you have 340 HP, which is high, though I don't think it matters too much how much HP you have exactly, because you're taking 60 less with the Stevens Carabank and the Granite Cave, which is substantial, and if that you're taking 60 less multiple turns, that's, really, really difficult to knock out. And then you have the Monkey Dory as well to add extra healing. Again, I feel like that's kind of awkward to get the Darkness Energies on. This is kind of a lot of the stuff I've said about Feraligatr as well. I think Feraligatr is really good. We saw Feraligatr win a really major tournament. I think one of the biggest tournaments of the year, which happened 2 weeks ago now, a 5,000 player tournament, and it took it down, and it played Milotic EX. Not that Feraligatr was, I mean, I don't know what it looked like down the board, but in the top 16, no one else was playing Feraligatr, but people were playing Milotic EX and Mimikyu a bunch, and Monkey Dory, I believe, as well in those decks. I actually don't remember, to be honest. But yeah, it was played some, certainly. It might have been played in all of them. But you have this like really tanky set of Pokemon, and I think for Giraffe EX is in that similar vein. I don't think it's a card that's super awesome long term in the deck. More so a meta call now. And you can't attack with Festivity EX either. I mean, you theoretically could, but you can't accelerate, this is one of the decks where theoretically, if you were able to accelerate, it would be like solid. I mean, its attacks 100 snipe, but regardless, Stevens Metagross EX is really cool. This deck's like, I honestly don't know what the idea of this deck is. This was really interesting. You're not really leaning to the tankiness at all. And we don't see any switch. I'm like looking, yeah, I guess you could just accelerate and attack or retreat. Kind of, but you do need 3 energies and you accelerate 2. But anyways, you have Lily's Clefairy EX, which I guess the idea is to get extra energy on there. But like Teal Mysogropon EX plus energy switch is the general way to do that, and you need a stage 2, which seems really awkward. Not that you can't pull it off using Noctowl. Maybe the idea is to find a way to play Stevens Metagross EX, and then Noctowl's good because it gets trainers, which are really good for You can get Rare Candy and Ultra Ball or whatever, and that's really nice. But then you need a Terra, so there's Teal Mesogre Pontiacs, but it doesn't really feel like that. We don't see much Steven stuff at all. Generally, I think this Pokemon's really good. I don't know exactly its place. Again, it's not super strong, and I don't know what attacking options are the best. Lily's Clefairy EX obviously seems like the front runner here for now. And then I think Mew EX is really solid as well. I mean, Mew EX is a good Pokemon. Obviously, it's played a lot. It's a Pokemon, it's just good and really versatile. No pun intended there. Then looking at the next set of cards, we'll look at the Steven Skarmory. This one is, I think, a bit less interesting, but it does 50 to 2-year points Pokemon from Metal Colorless, and just playing 2 lists here. Some Archaludon lists. Archaludon is pretty good right now. Oh, and this is actually wait, is this? Oh, never mind. I was going to say this is playing 3 trainers Pokemon, but it is not. But it is playing the. Oh, this one's not playing the Hops, Zacian EX, which is really interesting. I feel like that's it's a pretty important part, or I don't know if pretty important, but it's pretty like solid card within Archaludon EX. Okay, this does not play Hops, Zacian EX. That's like, look, it's Hops, Zacian EX. That's not. This is regular Zacian EX. I believe this card is also being cut from the new expansion Journey Together. So if you want to play this, you can't internationally. Even with the new set, I believe, I'm not 100% sure on that, but I'm pretty sure it's one of those cards, which is a bit unfortunate, but whatever. There's not too much to say about this card. I mean, 50 Snipe to 2 is okay, and you can get the energy on. Nothing really crazy going on here at all, but it's a attack option there, which is fine. Then the last card we have to talk about from this deck is Energy Recycler, and it looks like, yeah, all of these are with the new card, or with it, yeah, with like the new Energy Recycler and the new format. It's not different. This card was last printed in, what was it last printed in? It was in Battle Styles. Oh, it says it up here. And so it's been rotated for a little while, and I believe was not in the city legal for the previous City League tournaments. Like, I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. It was not, a card that the previous version was not legal for the City League tournaments that are recorded in the Limitless database. So I guess that's when it stopped. But anyways, we can see it in Goldengo, 2 Goldengo lists here, as well as some other lists. Oh, it was in one of the Steven Metagross EX lists. I didn't even pick, realize that. I mean, it's a good card. You need a bunch of energies, so that's solid. But then it's in a bunch of Marnie's Grimmsnarl lists as well. But we have a couple of Goldengo lists. I don't think there's anything really crazy going on here. The one plays Dragapult. This is like a thing. I have not played it. I mean, it's being played a decent amount in in Japan. I don't think it's super amazing or bad. I mean, I think it's fine. Nothing really crazy here. Obviously, you need lots of energies in the deck, and Energy Recycler gets you 5 back from you discard into your deck, which is good. I guess good with Energy Search Pro as well. If you're playing that, like, not immediately at the beginning, then you can get the max value out of it at like mid parts of the game. And then also on top of that, I mean, it's just good, right? You need more energies, and it gets you more energies. Obviously, Superior Energy Retrieval gets you a ton, but sometimes Energy Recycler is nice. I mean, it gets you more, and you will run out of Superior Energy Retrievals as well. Then in this other list, plays to Dunsparce. This is like a draw engine, like an actual draw engine. I mean, Drakeloak is as well, I suppose. But the Dunsparce is a card that allows you to kind of churn through your deck, and just draw. You draw a lot of cards. You draw kind of like the same cards over and over again. That's my criticism of the engine. However, Goldengo also lets you like draw some extra cards with Corn bonus. Now that I think about it, Drakeloak plus Goldengo, I mean, it's probably, good enough, but having the Dunsparce is a cool option, and you have the Dunsparce EX. Some people are big fans of it, but anyways, what I'm trying to say is, Energy Recycler is still very good with this high draw count. Then the other cards we need to talk about now are going to be apparently there's a Metagross list as well, with Hops, Zacian EX. Hops, Zacian EX is being played within Archaludon EX as well as separately with Metang, and it's quite good in Japan. It's pretty clearly, I'd say it's like a top 10 deck. It's like, again, it's split between different decks, not always played within the Archaludon deck, but it is very good. But anyways, you have that card, which is, really good with Metang, and Metang needs energy from the deck, so getting extra energy sent to your deck is good, obviously. Nothing fancy there. And you can, use Energy Recycler in lots of different decks. It's a good card. The other set of cards now is the Marnie's Pokemon. I assume we're not going to see any, like most of these Marnie's Pokemon, but we're mostly going to see the Grimmsnarl EX. But we have a Purloin and a Liepard, and Scrafty and Scraggy, and they're pretty bad. Then we have the Grimmsnarl and the Morpeko, and there are 5 lists here. So take a look at these and see what they are looking like because I think the Marnie stuff is weaker than the Stevens. I like tanky decks, I guess. I don't play them that much, but I do like them. And then there is this stadium here as well. This like searches for Marnie's Pokemon. I don't remember the name of it off the top of my head. But Marnie's Grimmsnarl EX says that you get to, on play, search for 5 basic darkness energies and attach them to your Marnie's Pokemon any way you like. This is where the Charizard comparison comes into effect. I think this is much more similar to Charizard, or more similar to Charizard EX than Steven's Metagross EX. And then you do 180, the same damage as Charizard at the beginning for 2 darkness, and then 30 to one of your opponent's bench Pokemon. I feel like the 30 snipe isn't super meaningful, but there is no mana fee. And then there's also the Marnie's Morpeko. This says you do 40 more damage for each darkness energy attached with a base of 20. So if you have like 5 energies, all the energies, then you're doing 220. If you attach one from hand, then you're doing 260. And, it scales up from there. Though there's not really a way where you're just getting a bunch of, I mean, you can get obviously extras from the Marnie's Grimmsnarl EX, but that's like the main way to get it powered up. And the stadium just lets you search for Marnie's Pokemon every single turn. That's quite good. It's a card that's just going to smooth out the list. It's called Spike with the Gym here, and it's good. There's not really too much to say about it, but it is good. The highest placing list one is here, which is a 6th place list. The others are in the bottom half of the top 16. So still solid. And there are 4 other lists here, but these 2 are labeled. This one's labeled as Pidgeot with Pidgeot EX with Marnie's Grimmsnarl EX. This one does. Oh no, it does play the Marnie's Morpeko as well. There's nothing too crazy different about these lists. Obviously, this one with Pidgeot EX is different. And we see Poppy as well. That is a card that I've not seen much. I've certainly seen it a little bit in, I think Arceus is where I've seen it. Apparently people are playing it. I've like not really seen people play it very much. But anyways, it allows you to move 2 energy. It's like a double energy switch. They need to be the same Pokemon to this the other Pokemon, both energies need to be going from the same Pokemon to the same Pokemon. But anyways, it's so it's like technically worse than double energy switch, but it's okay. Energy switch is generally better, but we have it here as a one copy of this card, which allows you to power up your Roaring Moon EX, theoretically something else as well, but you accelerate to wherever, and then you move the energy to that, which is pretty interesting. Roaring Moon EX is obviously really strong, being able to instantly one-shot anything, but also vulnerable. We see Monkey Dory as well. Monkey Dory, again, you can't get the energy on. By accelerating it, the idea is to accelerate to your other Pokemon and then attach to Monkey Dory. I've said this about, I think, pocket cards actually, and that's going to be the idea here to get the extra energies. Well, it's not technically extras directly to it. You can get Monkey Doors powered up easier than you could in just some random deck. And also with the Monkey Doors, you're going to be able to, that's the same idea within like Gardevoir, where you're not attaching to your Gardevoir attackers. You can just attach to Monkey Dory and get the energies on your other Pokemon through Gardevoir EX's ability. We also see Survival Brace. That's really interesting. I honestly, oh no, that's definitely there for Morpeko. Marnie's Morpeko. Lost Vacuum is rotating. And so that allows you to obviously have some more survivability. I assume 4 of them play Survival Brace. That's really surprising, I feel like, because that aspec's like not super good. Lost Vacuum is rotating, but there is still Jamming Tower. I actually haven't checked how much people have been playing Jamming Tower. But I feel like it's really good post-rotation. It looks like it's seeing a bunch of play. I can't tell exactly how much play it's seeing, but it's a lot. Definitely, it's in like tons of decks. So that's something that you still need to worry about. And then, like there are some really ace backs. There's Prime Catcher. There's Unfair Stand played in this list. So I don't know. It feels like a little like I don't. Okay, there's some weird stuff going on this list. We see Drayton and Morty's Conviction, which I'd say are like tier 2 supporters as well. So, but yeah, I think Unfair Stamp's like really good. Obviously, that's like not some weird hot take. It's really disruptive, really strong, and not like absolutely broken. Fezzik EX is really good against it, and it's like the best card in the game, but still, Survival Brace is really interesting. Really interesting. Obviously, Marnie's Morpeko is not tanky. It has 70 HP, which I guess is good for Buddy Buddy Poffin. But then if it gets knocked out, you're losing all the energy and all the damage essentially that you're building up. And again, you want a little bit of extra energy, so you need some time to build that up. We also see Badoo in these lists as well. Again, building up, you need some extra time. Same exact idea. We see Professor Terra's Scenario gets to reuse the Marnie's Grimmsnarl EX ability, and we see Energy Recycler. We see, sorry about my throat is dry, so I can't speak so well. But yeah, there is one in for the list, which seems quite good. We see Super Odds in the list as well. And Marnie's Grimmsnarl EX is an attacker, and Marnie's Morpeko is also an attacker. And they seem good. Monkey Dory seems like a little awkward to use because I don't know how much you're going to have damage on you. But I guess with the Survival Brace, he'll definitely have some. Oh no, never mind. I'm being silly. Okay, this is actually really interesting. The idea is to Survival Brace. Maybe I should have looked at this list beforehand. Well, you Survival Brace, you have 60 damage on you because it says if you have full HP and would be one-shotted, then you are put down to 10 HP. Then you have 60 damage and you double Monkey Dory off. Admittedly, as I said, it's a little awkward to get both your Monkey Dory set up, and you do need them both set up to do that. Okay, this one's not doing that. I was saying like, oh yeah, that's the main strategy of the decks. That's clearly not for this list, which only plays one Monkey Dory. You would need two to actually pull that off. And this list, which does not play Survival Burst, obviously, is not trying to do that. And I don't know if this list is trying to do that either. We see like Poppy. I feel like Monkey Dory is like a solid card. It's a nice card to do a little extra damage and to heal off, but your opponent does in some ways need to enable it as well. But also, we only see 3 rare candies. Wait, is it 3 rare candies? No, 2 rare candies in some of the lists. 3 in most of them. 3 even in the one with Pidgeot EX. And we see TM Evolution, which is played in most of the decks. TM Evolution is good against Badoo. That's a big reason why. And one issue with TM Evolution is you don't always have the energy. And if you're item locked, you can't Earthen Vessel for it if you play your Arven, but there's a lot of energy in the deck. There's 12. Speaking of Badoo, you do have the Stadium, which is a Pokemon Search, which is generally on items, but now it is on a Stadium as well, which is nice. Overall, I feel like the deck's pretty solid. It's okay. I don't expect it to be super strong, and I'm surprised it's being played more than Steven's Metagross EX and getting better results. Again, just within the first few days, so we'll see what it looks like in a week, a month from now. But these cards are really cool. Tell me down below in the comments which ones you're more excited for. But I hope you enjoy. Consider liking, subscribing, hitting the bell, all that good stuff. And as always, I'm excited to see you in the next video.